Welcome. So today I thought I would offer you a yin yoga practice using only the wall. So you just need a wall and your mat or carpet or a rug underneath you. And this practice will focus more on the hips, more on external rotation of the hips, so opening of the hips. So for those that find squatting or any open hip practice difficult, this one can be nice for you. And also if you hold any tension in the hips. And the great thing about this practice is you only need the wall and something comfortable underneath you. So we'll get started up against the wall. So I've turned the camera this way so that you can see what my legs are doing up the wall. So I'll have my back to you for most of the practice. So we're just going to turn around now and pop our legs up on the wall. So to get up on the wall, if you haven't done this before, you bring, it doesn't matter which side you turn to, but bring the whole side of your body with your knees bent, feet flat on the floor up against the wall. Take the hand closest to the wall behind you and then swing yourself around. So use your hands to support you. Swing yourself around and bring your legs up the wall. Now if you find that there's a big gap between your buttocks and the wall, you want the buttocks as close to the wall as you can. So just bum shuffle your way in until your legs sit comfortably up along the wall. And then we'll close our eyes here. And we'll bring our awareness to the breath. So resting your hands on your abdomen. Relax the elbows down by your sides. And bring the awareness to the natural flow of the breath. Feel the expansion of the abdomen on your inhale, filling the abdomen in all directions with breath, with prana. On the exhale, feel the abdomen contracting. Draw the navel in against the spine. Inhale, expanding the abdomen in all directions. Exhale, contract the abdomen, draw the navel in against the spine. So twice more in your own time. And as you relax into this posture, just notice if you're holding on to any tension, especially in the lower back, and just see if you can ground the back of the body down into the floor. So just let it all go, let it relax completely. Then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So this in itself is a posture, legs up the wall. And she's just gonna take off my jumper. Okay, so this is a great one to do if you're standing on your feet all the time, or if you suffer with swollen ankles, varicose veins, etc. So anything like that that's going on with tired legs, this is a great one to do, and it also helps regulate the blood pressure, so it's really good for your high and low blood pressure. It's a really nice recovery pose to come into. So bear in mind that you can use this posture on its own at any time before you go to bed or halfway through the day if you've been on your feet all day. But we'll move on now and get a little deeper into the practice, and we might visit this pose again later on in the practice. So start off by bending your knees to the outside. So turning your feet out, bend your knees to the outside, and bring the soles of your feet together in a butterfly position. So soles of the feet together. I'm going to lift my feet up a little bit more just so that you can see, and allow your knees to drop to the sides. And we're going to stay here for 4 minutes. So take the heels down towards the ground as much as is comfortably possible. And if you want to, you can just take the hands and just push open gently. So no sharpness, no pain, no forcing the body. Just wherever you feel a good stretch. Close the eyes. And let your breath sink deep into the hips. So with each exhalation, just visualize your hips letting go and opening a little more. Relax the shoulders, although we're pressing our knees away. You don't have to press the knees away either. If you feel enough without putting the extra pressure on, then don't do it. Just work on bringing the heels closer to the body. And if you are pressing the knees away, just make sure you're not kind of rounding the shoulders at the same time. So just keep making sure your points of your elbows are down towards the floor rather than out. And that'll ensure that your shoulders stay nice and relaxed. So just keep checking in with the tailbone as well. Make sure your sacrum is fully planted on the earth, on the floor beneath, that you're not rising up and rounding the mid-back. Constantly looking for that satisfying opening stretch, releasing stretch. No sharpness, no pain. Just 1 more minute here. So if you want to take it a little deeper, you can. If you're feeling enough where you are, stay where you are. You can experiment on pressing different areas of the thighs down to the groin. Just opening up. So just rolling back gently the thigh muscles, giving yourself a little bit of a massage while we're here. So when you're ready, slowly support the knees with the hands and just push the knees together. And then straighten the legs. Back up on the wall. Just take a moment there and just feel any sensations in the body. Just allowing that energy, that chi energy to rush into the body. And then make sure that you haven't moved away from the water, just shuffle yourself back in a little bit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to keep the left leg up straight, and we're going to take the right leg. So just draw the heel down towards the floor. So notice where your foot wants to be so that you feel a stretch inside that right hip. If you need to prop underneath, you might just be able to wedge the foot on the skirting board if your leg is going that far down. If not, if you want to put a cushion or something underneath, if you find that it's going to slide, just to help you feel a little bit more secure. If your foot goes all the way to the floor and you're not feeling that much there, bring it back up and take the left foot down and take the inside, move this out the way again, the inside of the left foot up against the skirting board, so bent at the knee, and then bring that leg down, and you'll find you won't be able to go quite as far, and you'll feel a stretch here in the left side as well as your stretch in the groin on the right side. So we'll spend 4 minutes here. So go to the point that feels good for you. If you can't take your right foot all the way to the floor, don't attempt this one. So work on getting the right foot to the floor first with the left leg straight. And just relax there, then breathe into it. So bring a little bit of meditation into your practice. Try not to allow the mind to drift off into thought. Now, thoughts will pop into the head, and that's completely normal. But when you notice a thought, if you notice that you're starting to follow that thought and spiral into thought process, then just bring your awareness back to the sensations in the body or back to the breath. So try not to get involved with thought. Try and be more present in the practice right here, right now. Notice what's happening in your body. So we're halfway through, just 2 more minutes here. And if you want to, you can use your hands just to press into any areas in the body. Find any little sore spots and just give them a little bit of a rub. And you can work on just gently rolling the thighs back, just by grabbing them and rolling them back. Or just resting your hands. One more minute here.
If you feel like you'd like to go a little bit deeper, taking that foot a little bit lower down or staying where you are. If it's starting to intensify, breathe into it. Okay, so very slowly, use your right hand to support that leg and just push it up along the wall. And the same with the left one, just use your left hand, pick up that leg. Wow. Stretch it up. Just give the legs a little bit of movement if you need to, or just pause and feel the sensations. Just letting that rebound happen, that chi energy accessing the body, rushing into all those little spaces that you've opened up. And then we're going to go for the other side. So if you had your left leg straight previously, then keep your right leg straight and open out your left to the side. And if you had your right leg bent, bend your right leg first. So bend it down, take the inside of the right foot up against the wall, knee bent, and then take the left leg out. Just notice, I've got a feeling for me anyway, this side is going to be different. So just notice if one side is different than the other. Yep, can definitely feel a little bit more sensation in this side than the other. So just notice if that's the same for you, if one side feels easier, one side feels more intense. Nice, slow, deep breaths. So again, you can use your hands to just massage any areas, or you could try flexing that right foot, left foot even, and see how that feels. So just breathing into it. So just one more minute here. Okay, so supporting your legs with your hands, just bring the left leg up. If you've got your right leg straight, you're just bringing that straight up, or extend your right leg if you feel your right leg bent. Legs together. Just breathe into it for a few breaths. And we'll take the knees into the chest for a moment. So just take the knees into the chest. So you can use the wall, feet against the wall, hands on the shins. Relax the shoulders. And we'll just take a few breaths here with the knees into the chest. So don't worry if your feet are up a little higher, take them higher wherever feels good. So we're just taking a little rest here. And then take your legs up straight again. And this time we're going to open both legs out. So open both legs out. You can bum shuffle your way in if you feel like you've moved away from the wall a little bit. Open both legs out as wide as they will comfortably go without any pain. Just a nice stretch. And we'll stay here. So allowing gravity and the support of the wall to support the legs. And allow us to go a little bit deeper maybe than you would if you were doing your dragonfly or wide-legged seat, seated upright. So you can rest the hands on the abdomen and just feel the expansion and contraction of the breath there. Or rest your hands on your thighs, just giving gentle pressure onto the thighs to open them out. And if you're finding it difficult to be in the present moment, if the mind is particularly busy today, then try counting your breath. So you could do a nice relaxing 4-count breath. So inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 4. So trying to allow your exhalation to be the same length as your inhalation at first. And if you want to go deeper into the breathing practice, you can allow your exhalation to be slower and longer than your inhalation. So you could inhale for 4 and exhale for 6. So just one more minute here. Okay, so support your legs with your hands, or just bring your legs back up the wall and either keep them straight or bend them in. And just take a few breaths there. Feel that sensation in the body. And then straighten the legs back along the wall if they're not already. So we're going to do figure 4 now. So you're going to bend your right knee and you're going to take your right ankle. So use your hands to guide it. So your right ankle is placed just below your left knee. Your right knee is out to the side. So this is the first stage. You could just gently push back the right knee with the right hand. If that's enough for you, stay there. Or if you want to take a little further, start to dig your left heel into the wall and bend the knee. So see what works for you. If you find that ankle, knee is a little bit tender, you can always slip a little bit of a blanket there if you find your ankle is a little bit bony on your leg. If your foot doesn't come off the wall, if your bum starts to lift, then don't do it. Keep your legs straight. I know when I first started doing this pose a few years ago, every time I tried to bend my knee, my bum lifted up. So I just kept my legs straight, and after a while, it'll start to open up. So see what works for you. Again, the most important thing is keep that sacrum on the ground. Bring your awareness then to the breath. So you see here I'm supporting my leg with my hands, but I've got my elbow here, just gently pressing my elbow into the inside of my right knee to open it up a little bit more. If your leg is straight, then you use your hand. This left leg, I mean. If the left leg is straight, then just use your hand. So just one more minute here. Okay, so straighten that left leg if it's not straight already. Straighten the right. Take a few breaths. Just feeling that rebound sensation in the body. And then when you're ready, we'll swap it over. So bending your left knee. Take your left ankle, place it just below your right knee. So resting it there again, even a bit of clothing if it's a little bony. And try flexing that left foot and then pressing into the left knee. And then staying there or starting to bend that right knee. So see, everyone's hips will be different. My external rotation, my hips are more internal, so external rotation is a little more of a challenge for me. But for you, you may find you can bring that knee a little closer. So see what works for your body. So we're all different. We have all have our own strengths and weaknesses. Not even weaknesses, just differences in the body, depending on our bone structure, what physical or emotional trauma our bodies have been through. So, injuries. And the natural structure of our bodies. So just one more minute here. Okay, so when you're ready, support your leg, bring it back up. The legs a shake. I just take a moment. Bum shuffle your way back in if you feel like you've moved a little bit away from the wall. Okay, so now for the next posture, we're going to take our feet flat on the wall, but make sure your bum doesn't lift off the floor. So take your feet as close to the body as you can without that happening, and then walk them a little wider so your knees are wider than the hips. And we're going to stay there then. So wherever feels good for you, your legs might be up a little higher or a little lower. So wherever feels good for you. Relax, bring the awareness to the breath, the sensations in the body. Keep pressing that sacrum, that tailbone down into the earth beneath. Feet feel rooted to the wall. And you're feeling a sensation probably into the inner hip area, so into the groin area. Maybe a little here at the hip creases at the front of the hip. One more minute here. Okay, very slowly walk the feet together and then stretch them up. A little shake. Maybe just stretch them out, maybe flexing the feet, spreading the toes. So whatever feels good for you right now. Okay, so from here we're going to slowly make our way up. So turn yourself over onto your side. Make your way up. And we're going to come onto our feet. And we're going to come into our squat position with our back against the wall. So a lot of people find this one a little difficult. Maybe the heels don't want to touch the floor. So what you can do is pop a rolled up blanket underneath your heels and then shift your way back so your back goes up against the wall. So just as you need to, I'm just going to spend 2 minutes here as we have the hips so nice and open, working on our squat, yoga squat. So let me find 2 minutes. 2 minutes here. So just bring your elbows to the insides of the knees. And deepen the breath. So if you find that a little difficult, you can lean all the way back onto the wall and just rest the hands here, or just gently pushing open with the backs of the arms, opening the hands. And close the eyes. Deepen the breath. So just 1 more minute here. Okay, so very slowly, come maybe onto the hands, bring the knees in, come to sit in Vajrasana or stretch the legs out in front, just take a moment. So if you're sitting in Vajrasana, just resting the hands on the thighs or legs out in front. You can sit up against the wall if you want to. Just close the eyes, bring the awareness to the breath. Feel the sensations in the body. Notice any tingling sensations. Notice any openness. Notice if you're holding on to any tension. So just Keeping an eye on those shoulders, make sure they're drawn down towards the earth. Crown of the head going up towards the ceiling. We'll take a few balancing breaths here to finish our practice. So inhaling from the tailbone for 1, 2, all the way up the spine, 3, 4. Exhaling, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling from the tailbone towards the crown of the head for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling from the crown of the head all the way back down for 4, 3, 2, 1. One more. Inhaling from the tailbone for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling from the crown of the head down for 4, 3, 2, 1. Allow your breath to return to your natural breath. Take your right hand to your chest, left hand to your abdomen. Seal in your practice. Few more breaths. Hands to prayer at the chest. Bow your head towards your heart. Thank yourself for devoting this time to your practice today. And I thank you too for taking the time to be with me today. Take care. Namaste.